Hey there, this is James McKenzie with another look at some of our older but still great cameras. And today we're going to be talking about the decision between the compact everyday carry fixed lens camera that I'm going to be keeping, and also the fixed lens compact everyday carry camera that I'm choosing to sell. So let's get at it. Today we're going to be looking at basically three different cameras in the compact everyday carry category, and this would be in the premium category for the most part. So, and again, these are older cameras, so not the newest versions, except in the case of the Ricoh, which is, I think, still the latest version of that camera. So the three cameras that we're going to be looking at today are the Leica Q, the original, the Sony RX1, the original, and the Ricoh GR3, which is, I believe, the latest model of Ricoh. And we're just going to be basically looking at, out of the two 28mm focal length cameras, the Leica Q and the Ricoh GR3, which of the two of those I'm going to be keeping and which one I'm going to be selling. And then we'll also just look at it in comparison to the RX1, which is a 35mm full frame Zeiss lens. So it's not exactly comparable to the other two cameras, but very similar type of form factor and use case scenario. So, which of the two, the GR3 and the Leica Q, am I going to keep? It may be noticeable to some people who've been watching some of my videos that I have never reviewed the Ricoh GR2 or Ricoh GR3. I've owned a couple of GR2s and I currently own the GR3, and I am planning to do a review video on the GR3 soon. The reason I'm doing this video today, between the Leica Q and the GR3 with the RX1 in the mix, is because I'm going to be selling the Leica Q, and in fact unboxing it up today and shipping it off to its new owner. So so not to bury the lead, that's what we're going to be doing, is selling the Leica Q and keeping the GR3. And people may ask or wonder why it would be that I would choose to keep on paper the inferior camera. I don't know if inferior is the right word, because Ricoh GR3 is a beloved camera and an excellent performer, but in comparison to the Leica Q and that excellent Summilux 28mm 1.7 lens, definitely there would be people that would consider it to be, and a full frame sensor, people would consider it to be on paper a higher, more premium camera than the Ricoh GR3. So right off the bat, here's the Leica Q without the case on. And by the way, the copy that I have is beautiful. It's in very good condition. It's not mint. There is a scuff near the thumb pad on the back of the camera. I believe that scuff came from a strap or a strap connector from the previous owner. And then there are a couple very minor dings, very minor, almost imperceptible dings on the lens hood. But other than that, the screen's in perfect condition, has a screen protector on it, and in every other way the camera is great. Had tape over the microphone ports, and I've just yesterday took a photograph in the clear blue sky on f/16, and it's a dust-free sensor. So this is really a great version of the Leica Q. If you're going to buy a Leica Q, this would probably be, unless you wanted the titanium look, This is a full black one, so other than that, this is like a top example of the Leica Q. So there's this, and then here we have the GR3. And I think you can see right off the bat one of the main reasons why I prefer the GR3 over the Leica Q, and that is the form factor. So these are pitched as sort of in the same category: everyday carry, compact, single focal length, premium walk-around cameras, but they're not in any way the same form factor. The GR3 is just like a point and shoot. It's tiny, very little, and the quality images that come out of this are fantastic. Again, I'm going to do a full review on the GR3 and the GR series in general, because I've owned a couple of the GR2s and even a GR Digital 2, one of the older versions. The Leica Q is like a piece of art. It's a beautiful camera, fantastic build quality. I've done the review on it, and everything I said holds true. The image quality that's coming out of it is beautiful. It has all the attributes. In fact, all these cameras share some great attributes. Leaf shutter lenses, which really matter when you're looking at crushing ambient sunlight, ambient light, and getting flash fill on portraiture, outdoor portraiture during sunny days. All of these cameras have leaf shutter lenses. The Leica Q has a built-in EVF that's really nice. Just a beautiful camera. The feel of the focus ring and the aperture ring is beautiful. Of course, the lens on this thing is epic. Very beautiful lens. Has decent autofocus too, which is something that's kind of nice that the M series lens cameras don't have. So why am I choosing to sell this one? Money aside, obviously this is worth 3 times as much as the Ricoh. Street value today, this is 3,000 Canadian, this one's around 1,000 Canadian. So I mean, that does play a role in it. I've got $3,000 Canadian wrapped up in this camera, and I've got, I think I paid $850 for this one, and they're running around 1,000 right now, used. So I've got over 3 times the amount of money invested in this camera. Which camera do I grab when I'm walking out? Every time this one. Not even like comparable. Always the Ricoh. And then the only other one that I will grab, which is very similar, is the RX1. And the RX1 is kind of like a hybrid. You can see it's very much, the body itself is very similar in size to the Ricoh, but it has a full frame sensor and then that really excellent 35mm Zeiss lens on it, but quite a bit smaller than the Leica. Still got the bigger lens, but it is more pocketable. The Leica is just not pocketable. If you're going to carry the Leica around, you might as well carry around an interchangeable lens system. Now, obviously, it's got the leaf shutter, and it makes it worthwhile having the Leica Q. The Leica Q is fantastic. If I'm just walking around doing photography on a trip, the Leica is awesome. Hanging around your neck, it's like a piece of jewelry, and take some beautiful photos. Unfortunately, we're not traveling much these days. Ever since COVID, we haven't been traveling. With work, my daughter's in high school now. We have our home over in Vietnam, but my wife's come back a few times, but I haven't been back for a while. We need to rebuild our house over there. It needs upgrades. So we haven't been doing a ton of traveling. And around here, I don't go out and do street photography that often. So it doesn't make sense to have a camera that's worth, 3 times the amount of the one that I prefer to use generally, which is the GR3. It's just basically not collecting dust because I keep it in in a bag all the time, but essentially collecting dust, not really being used. And then the RX1 kind of fills that little bit of a niche of having the 35 millimeter focal length. It's a little bit more a little bit more normal than the 28 mil. Love the 28 mil too, but the 35 is really nice, really good for environmental portraiture and travel photography. Obviously, it's the 35 millimeter focal length is kind of the known walk around street camera focal length. So 35 millimeter is a fantastic focal length to have. And having only spent, I think I paid about $800 or $900 for the RX1, which is a full frame sensor, very comparable to the Leica Q. With the Zeiss lens, the optics are very similar, but it's an f2, not an f1.7, but still a fantastic lens. The cost of the camera is about the cost of what you'd pay for a Zeiss lens like this, 35 millimeter f2, maybe even cheaper. So it's hard for me to really see the point in selling this one, which is already quite low price, and there's more scuffs and dings on it. It's not terrible, it's not really bad, but it has a few more scuffs and dings. I do have the box for this one as well, but it's less saleable. And also I really like having the flash, because that little pop of flash with the leaf shutter lens is all you need a lot of times in order to crush that ambient daylight with the sun in the background, and at the same time get a little pop of flash on the face to just get those details on the face. And I use that a lot. I used to use that on my X100, Fuji X100S that my daughter has now. I use that feature a lot. That little flash on board was really nice. And that was one of the reasons why I really like the Ricoh GRIII, is that it also had that little flash on there. Obviously the Ricoh GRIII doesn't have the little built-in flash, and that's one of its sort of downsides. The Leica also does not have the built-in flash, but it has the EVF. Now with the RX1, the Sony, I also have the EVF that mounts on the hot shoe, and that's kind of cool too, to have like the little detachable EVF. That cost me another $100 or so, so I'm probably into this camera for about $1,000. But yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to have a quick last video with the Leica Q. I didn't really get out and use it as much as I'd hoped to use it. It's a fantastic camera. I really love it. I did find that it was a little bit, because of the condition of it, it's in like really good condition. Obviously not mint, because it does have that little bit of a mark on it. But it was a little nerve-wracking. I was always a little nervous about walking around with it. Not because I worry about people stealing it. I'm not a great target for people. I'm 6'1", 250. People don't pick me as a target typically. I'm not the kind of guy that normally is chosen. I got I'm looking. I've got my eyes peeled. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for what's going on. So I'm not a victim. Been around the block a few times. So I never worried about that part of it. What I worried about was banging into stuff, brick walls, and people, going through crowds and having people having it around my neck, because that was the only way I could really comfortably carry it. So yeah, I always felt a little bit aware of the camera. With the Ricoh, I mean, literally, you put that in your pocket. Like, it is seriously pocketable. Like, not even, yeah, I mean, everybody knows that. It is the most pocketable of the ultra compact walk around premium cameras. So yeah, the Q is getting shipped out today, and got a really great buyer, another halfway through the country, not all the way across the country, but in the middle of the country. So we'll be shipping that off to him today, and I think he's gonna love this this camera, and it's a beauty for sure. But for me, I'm sticking with the Ricoh, and I'm holding on to the RX1, because that, in my view, is like it's very much very similar experience. I even kind of like it more than the Leica Q, but that's that's because of the form factor. I really enjoy smaller pocketable bodies. So we'll be keeping the Ricoh GR3, we'll be keeping the RX1 for now, and the Leica Q is going to be going to a new home. So thanks again for watching my content. I really enjoy getting feedback and comments. So if you have any ideas on what the best compact everyday carry camera is, let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in this kind of thing, feel free to subscribe. And if you're doing your own content that's around cameras and cinema cameras, I'm interested. So let me know what your channel is doing. You can post that in the comments. And also, if you like it, I would love a thumbs up. That'd be great. So that's it for today. Have a great day, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Bye.